The original X-Men comics were nothing like you think, by MNstash. Let's see.
Hey, welcome back to the stash. There's something about the X-Men that has always felt different from every Marvel hero. Spider-Man is relatable, Daredevil is tragic, Iron Man is inventive, the Fantastic Four are explorers, the X-Men, they're outsiders. They're feared and misunderstood. And in so many ways, they're Marvel's most human characters, even when they're the ones who are deemed by some to be the furthest thing from human. But here's the thing, despite how iconic the X-Men eventually became, despite how massive the franchise is today, their first comics aren't talked about nearly as much as they should be.
True.
And maybe there's a reason.
Fair enough.
I did find the run as a whole to be—
Well, Beast was like a regular dude. That's Beast right there. He wasn't even like an actual Beast form, man. He was just some big dude who was beastly. He said not understanding I had a baddie on me, and I said no thanks, let me play some Dota. Dude, we've all been
the weakest out of the Silver Age bunch. But those very early issues, X-Men issues 1 through 10, they are some of the strongest, most inconsistent—
For me, it was Magic the Gathering.
—most oddly charming stories Marvel ever published during the 60s. There's a lot to love and appreciate from that short stretch, but there's also a lot to roll your eyes at. And going back to them now, rereading the beginning of the mutant mythos, you quickly realize that the series peaks at its very first installment, because after that, the series never fully finds its footing. It tries to, and I think it wants to. You can see Stan Lee, Jack Kirby, and later Roth and Thomas searching for something bigger and deeper. But somewhere after issue 10, the magic slips for me. And what we're left with
really,
is a
this guy is saying that there were only 10 good X-Men comics? This is a crazy take already, dude. This is a wild take that there's no possible way I agree with. Sorry.
That's historically important, creatively fascinating, and occasionally brilliant, but honestly, just average. But that's why this video is focused on only the first 10 issues.
X-Men is the best, in my opinion, one of the top comic series of all time, honestly.
Because even though this stretch is flawed, it's still the birth of something huge, something that would eventually grow into one of the most powerful stories Marvel would ever tell. This is a look back at a run that didn't quite work, but one that still matters. But hey, real quick, here at the stash, we're swinging for 25,000 subscribers.
Oh, okay, alright, so I hate this guy. I hate this YouTuber already. Dude, if you ask for subscribers or likes at the beginning of your video, that means you have nothing of value to say and you're probably a piece of shit. So I'm going to assume that the rest of this video is just him talking shit on something he doesn't really understand and trying to seem like someone who knows more than he really does.
Now that's a tall order, I know, but with great power comes great responsibility. And all you gotta do is click subscribe. So if you're into the X-Men or just comic book deep dives, feel free to stick around.
I hate
Also,
that.
be sure to say at the very end—
Look, I will be at the end of the video if I like the video. Don't tell me to stay till the end. Don't fucking tell me. Yeah, thank you. Don't tell me to like and subscribe the video until the end, where I'll be if I liked the fucking video.
for another episode of Comics from the Stash.
I'm literally at the place where if you ask me to like and sub to your video within the first like 5 minutes of it, not only am I not going to like it, not only am I not going to subscribe to it, but I'm going to put a dislike on your video. Straight up, dude. Because this just like, you're trying to game the system. I don't like people who try to game systems. I don't. It's scumbag behavior.
Time, I'm going to my earliest X-Men comics.
I dislike and report. Hell yeah, based.
But with that all said, let's get right back into the video.
God, dude, yeah, what
when
a
people
fucking...
talk about the Silver Age,
This has already thrown me off of the video so bad, because I don't trust anything this guy says now. Really.
They always bring up the first appearances, and that's no different for the X-Men. X-Men has this weird, undeniable charm that stands on its own. It's one of the most...
To be fair, though, this dude also did say that the first 10 comics of X-Men were the only good ones, so he's clearly retarded.
Marvel comics Marvel ever made. Right from page 1, you get everything. A school for gifted youngsters, a mysterious mentor in a wheelchair, teenagers learning how to control their powers, a world already afraid of mutants, a villain with a personal connection to the heroes, and a tone that feels both out there and bold. It's all here, and it's honestly kind of incredible, because even though everything about this comic screams the 1960s, there's something timeless in its setup. The X-Men are students, they're young and conflicted, half trained, half terrified, half annoyed that they even have homework, but the key here is that they're learning to live with something they didn't choose to have. And then, there's Magneto. His debut is perfect. He's bold.
You know, what I think is funny is that X-Men was supposed to be this allegory for, like, accepting people who are different than you and, like, not judging people based on their cover or whatever. But if you actually read the X-Men, if you actually go through the story of the X-Men, it says the exact opposite in its actions and how it actually writes itself. It says, no, you're actually 100% reasonable for judging a book by its cover. Because you see a mutant, now you better run away because there's a good chance that their power is just going to fucking kill you for no reason. So it's funny to me that this is supposed to be about, like, it's supposed to be about, like, don't stereotype people, don't be this, don't be that, but it actively says the opposite of the message it tries to give away.
Commanding, arrogant, he sees humanity as fragile and weak, and even in his earliest appearance, you can feel the ideological tension that will later define him. X-Men issue 1 is easily the most confident issue of the entire...
If you read the X-Men, and at the end of wherever you're at, you read a couple of comics, you don't come to the obvious conclusion that mutants should be regulated, that mutants should not have the same amount of rights as regular humans, then you're clearly not looking at it from a realistic or even you're looking at it from your emotional standpoint at that point. If, like, and that's it. Because if you look at it from any realistic standpoint at all, and anything that's not just your pure emotions, you would realize that you cannot let these muties run around and just do whatever the fuck they want.
Higher early run. Stan Lee and Jack Kirby knew exactly what they wanted this story to be. A blend of school drama, superhero action, and a deeper metaphor hiding beneath the surface.
So, Power Rangers.
The comic, to me at least, sets the bar so high that the rest of the run never reaches it again.
That's crazy to say. That's so crazy to say.
So after issue 1, you expect the book to keep pushing the unique angle, but instead, issue 2 brings the Vanisher, a villain who steals military secrets and teleports around.
And looks dumb as hell, sorry.
He's not anything terrible, but in my opinion...
He looks like a Batman villain from the 60s.
Necessarily fun either. He's just there. And this is where the cracks start to show, because issue 2 of the X-Men has almost nothing to do with made the first appearance so much of a great...
Didn't this guy just 10 seconds ago say that the first 10 pieces of the comic were the best and that it fell off after that? But now he's saying that only the first comic was good? This guy can't even get his own messaging straight.
Read. It's still got its charm.
Hey, ChatGPT, write me a script about the X-Men and how the original comics were different.
The training scenes are fun, the team dynamics are quirky, Cyclops is stressed, Beast is brilliant, Angel is cocky, Iceman's a lovable kid of the group, Jean Grey tries her best to keep these guys in line and alive, and the Professor X is still the stoic mentor. These moments, the
Jean Grey's a psycho.
interpersonal bits, are the heart of this early run. They feel honest and very Marvel, and those pieces genuinely work. But story-wise, issue 2 and even issue 3 highlight a bigger problem. The X-Men comics don't have a real identity settled yet. Now, the X-Men issue 3 introduces the Blood.
It's like in Far Cry 5, one message, but then the people liked the bad guys. Yes, exactly. Exactly. It's always, they're trying to push their message. It's same thing with The Boys and Homelander, where throughout The Boys, most of the people who are watching were like, yeah, actually, Homelander's kind of based. So then they had to write him into this crazy psychopath who had, no redeeming qualities and was just a crazy mama's boy who was, I don't know. Dude, The Boys, one of the worst endings in any show I've ever seen. The entire last season was garbage. The season before it was pretty bad. And what a build-up to what a fall-off, man. It's because they were upset that people were agreeing with Homelander. And they wanted Homelander to be this ultimate villain.
Again, it's not a bad idea. A recruitable mutant who refuses to join the team, that's interesting, but I just find the actual
They did the same with
execution to be
Joker.
decent at
Oh,
best.
yeah.
It's repetitive,
Oh, yeah.
chaotic, and never truly explores the deeper themes that
Yeah.
issue 1 hinted
Oh, wait,
at.
you actually liked the Joker? Well, let's make a sequel that literally nobody can like, and it's like a weird stage act that's just bullshit and stupid. Yeah, no, you're right. They killed the Joker on purpose.
The first 3 issues make something very clear. X-Men can be great, but only when the story leads into mutation, prejudice, and ideological conflict. When it doesn't, it kind of feels like just
See, but the funny thing is the X-Men leaning into prejudice, they always try to lean in and say that prejudice is wrong. That's what the guys who write the comics say. They say being prejudiced is wrong. But then the way they write the comics always says the exact opposite. The way they write the comics, every time, if you don't come out of the end of a run and go, well, maybe you should be prejudiced against mutants, then you're not even reading the comic book, because the mutants are clearly unstable. They're clearly basically like a terrorist organization at this point. Like, it's crazy.
The superhero book of the
And
time.
I am a huge X-Men fan. I love the X-Men. I love mutants. But like, from an objective in-world standpoint, you've got to realize that these people are they should not be allowed to just run around.
Fortunately, most of the Silver Age X-Men comics fall into that category. Now here's where things get interesting, because issue 4 introduces the original Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and for the first time since issue 1, the X-Men feel like a unique property again. Magneto returns, Mastermind arrives,
Again,
Code appears, and most—
This dude said that the first 10 comic books were the best of the entire thing and everything fell off. That's what he said at the beginning. He said it multiple times. And then now multiple times he said that only the very first comic book was good. And now several, 20, 40, however many comic books down the line, now they're good again. So what is it, dude? You can't even make the same point in your video sucks.
Most importantly, we meet Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. This is the first mutant versus mutant conflict in the franchise, and it's great. Issue 4 feels alive. It's messy, sure, but in that fun early Marvel way. There are real stakes and tensions, and I love how the story is just filled with so much great stuff. From page 1 to the very end, it's a blast. But where issues 5 and 6 continue the Brotherhood arc, I do find those to be more uneven. Even if they're easily the most important stretch of the first 10 issues, it does in a way feel like Magneto's
Wait, what is
presence
this guy? Am I missing something? Because I feel like he's saying something and then he's saying the opposite.
This is the first mutant versus mutant.
When did what is he saying here?
Evil mutants, and for the first time since issue 1.
For the first time since issue 1, what is he?
Now here's where things get interesting.
What
Because
issue is
4
this?
introduces
Issue 4. So he's saying 2 and 3 were bad. Issue 1 was good. Issue 2 and 3 are bad. Issue 4 is good.
This is the first mutant versus mutant conflict in the franchise,
Dog, this
and
is hurting
it's
my
great.
brain.
Issue 4 feels alive. It's messy, sure, but in that fun early Marvel way.
It's messy. So it's messy. It's not even. It's so. Oh my god. But no, this is peak X-Men, right? This is peak X-Men when it's messy and they haven't figured anything out yet.
There are
Okay.
real stakes
All right.
and tensions, and I love how the story is just filled with so much great stuff. From page 1 to the very end, it's a blast.
Like what?
But where issues 5 and 6 continue the
Oh, okay,
Brotherhood
nothing.
arc,
Okay,
I do
no
find
example.
those to be more uneven. Even if they're easily the most important stretch of the first 10 issues, it does in a way feel like Magneto's presence elevates everything. He's just got this undeniable aura about him. He feels the rightful leader of the group and one of the few worthy matches for the X-Men so far. Overall though, you can feel Stan Lee and Jack Kirby reaching for something big, but the book still doesn't know how to get there. And that's the problem of this early run. Even when it comes to the later issues written by Roy Thomas, it's still just moments of brilliance scattered inside a mostly average comic.
What?
Issues 7 and 8 are honestly fine. There's nothing terrible or amazing, just...
It's crazy to me, dude. This is crazy how many times in one video he has counteracted his own point. So, let me get this straight. Issue 1 was good. Issue 2 and 3 were bad. Issue 4 was good. And then everyone up until the 6th one, so issues 4 and 5 were good. And then issues 6 and 7 were mediocre. So again, nothing. What the fuck is this guy talking about?
Issue
They were
7
just fine.
continued with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, but without the momentum of issues 4 to 6. So it feels more like a repeat than an escalation.
Dog,
the Blob
am I
ends
crazy
up joining
here?
the Brotherhood, and while it's fun to see the origins of these classic teams and characters, I still don't think it reaches the heights of issue 4. There's some decent moments still here. A personal highlight for me being that the X-Men actually graduate. It's nice that even when the series was still so fresh, Lee and Kirby weren't afraid of actually moving forward with the heroes. Issue 8 though introduces Eunice the Untouchable, which is one of those villains that perfectly captures the weirdness of early Marvel. This one though was actually a pretty fun read. I remember that especially during my first read through with the X-Men. The series heavily dropped off for me after this one, or even a bit of issue 10. It's pretty creative and entertaining, even if it doesn't really add anything meaningful to the X-Men mythos.
Oh my
I do
God.
wish it would adhere a bit more to the pattern canon that gives this story such huge potential, because right now,
Okay, so now he's saying episode 9, issue 9 was actually bad. It was just bad.
if it was like issue 1 builds a world, issues 4 and 6 expand that world, everything else just kind of feels like filler. It's not that these issues are actually that bad.
Fuck,
They
dude?
just don't live up to the
This is the dumbest idiot I've ever heard on YouTube. Holy shit. Oh, issues 1 through 10 were the best ones. Nothing's ever matched it. Well, except only episodes or issues 1 and 4 were good. Only issues 1 and 4 were good, and the rest actually sucked. But I don't know, the first 10 were the good ones. Like, what the fuck are you saying?
that the X-Men concept naturally holds.
Ah.
I understand that Silver Age comics do technically hold a different standard to the stories of even just the 70s, but even with those standards, when I read series like Tales of Suspense, The Amazing Spider-Man, The Fantastic Four, and even ones like The Mighty Thor, I just think that the X-Men pales in comparison to them, which is a real shame.
What are you talking about?
Issue 9 is interesting by the cover alone, because it's the first X-Men vs Avengers crossover, while also introducing a character called Lucifer. But I just genuinely didn't think this issue was actually enjoyable at all. It's very overstuffed thanks to the Avengers, who are honestly just here to try to boost sales, and the outcome of the entire conflict feels so underwhelming.
Alright, dog.
I mean,
I can't continue watching this video anymore. I'm sorry. This is the worst YouTuber I've ever seen in my entire life. He can't even, he makes a point at the beginning of the video and then goes through the whole video to literally destroy his own point. This is crazy. This is the worst, like literally one of the worst YouTube videos I've ever seen in my life. It already got the dislike because he begged for subs. I knew it was going to be bad from the start. But, Jesus Christ, MNstash, you're horrible. I hate you. God, people like you are what's wrong with YouTube, literally.